Hi everybody, it's Crazy, it's Monday, and it's time for the UPBGE video of the week. Now before I get started, gotta give a shout out to my trusted, because you guys rock. To my Crazy fam, I love you guys. Now we're up to episode number 71. We left off last week on, let me see if I can get this right. Nope, wrong one. How about that one? Page 68, which was Mango Jambo Special Animation. Okay, we left off, let me go back to that one now, on tutorial_hat_4.animatedhats.blend. And what that actually does, if we hit play, okay, and we take our mouse, because the mouse is free as you see, and we click on a hat, it automatically gets put on his head. No matter if he's walking, he's turning, doesn't matter, it stays glued to his head while he moves around. Now, you can click anywhere in space and it will take the hat off. And then you can click on this one. If you notice that one bobbles a little bit. That was the whole idea of what they were talking about doing. So whenever he walks, the hat bounces. You know, when he turns, the hat bounces. Okay. So, let me get him back over here where he's not so far out. There we go. Okay, so and again, if you click off anywhere, this is the file that you should be you should worked on. If you didn't work on it and you just went straight to this file, then kudos, you just went to the file. But what you would want to do is try to practice how to do these and try to get them right. It takes a little bit of practice. It took me several times. But I finally got it to work right on mine, and yeah, the hat still doesn't sit right. Either one of them, by the way. I'm not that good at precision, but some people, you know, they can make them look really good. You can see them, and they look nice. You know, they look conform to the head. You know, and it bounces around like it's supposed to, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's what we ended off with last week. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The walking cycle you've seen so far is technically correct, and it follows the workflow you can count on, regardless of your animation skills. The bottom line is, with a good method and the understanding of the techniques, although you may not be brilliant, you can't go wrong either. Okay? Now, as the icing on the cake, I've asked the animator, Maurice, to do the same thing we did together, a new walking cycle and idle animation using the same base file. For reference, he created Moo for the Yo Frankie project and its original animations. After our using and abusing of Moo in the previous pages, it's only fair to see what his father would have done instead. Here you can see and study his work and the final contribution. You'll find that under chapter 4, Mango Jambo.blend, and let's go ahead and go to it. Okay, so we're going to go here, we're going to go hit open. You're going to look for Mango Jambo.blend, and if you open it, you'll see how he did it. And if you hit play and you hit a hat on him and walk, that's how he would do it. And the hat is actually really small on his head, if you notice that if you switch to it, okay, and he makes the hat fluctuate. Isn't that kind of neat? So basically, it's up to artist's preference on how you want to animate your characters. If you want them to animate like this, or you want them to animate the other way, or whatever you want a character to do in your animations, you have to animate it. And using those techniques, you can actually animate a character like we just did in this one. Well, not this one, but the one before that. It was, oh, I need to click out of it. There we go. Let's reopen the other one, which is that one. Okay, so this one's one that we did, and when we hit play, he's just doing what we made him do. Okay, you can make him do all kinds of other kinds of poses. You know, an idle animation of him rolling his eyes, or an animation of him tapping his foot, or waving his hand like hello, hey, woo, you know, trying to get your attention. A lot of game animations are done that way. It's all up to the artist's way of doing it. My buddy E, who has his own server, and you know, he does a lot of, he was doing a project on his own that he liked, and he did a really good character, and I thought it was really great. If you want to learn a little bit about, you know, E's characters, jump on into the comments below, or not the comments, but the description below, and go ahead and check out his YouTube channel. He's very, very artistic, and dude, you rock. So keep up the good work. Nonetheless, if you're doing an animation, that's what you want it to do. So let's continue on. Go over here. It says to learn more. Finally, dedicate the proper time to mastering the ways of animation. Learning how to make animation work in Blender is still not the same thing as knowing what to do. Here is a list of classic materials for learning animation, the modern references for animation and character control in games, and Blender specific reading. Okay, so I'm going to read them off. There's Drawn to Life by Walt. I'm not going to say their last names because I'm really terrible at last names unless it's something simple like Williams or Blair. Okay, but you know, I'm going to say Stanchfield. Yeah, Stanchfield. Okay, so Walt Stanchfield wrote Drawn to Life. You can look that up. You can do a Google search and find it. The Animator Survival Kit by Richard Williams. Cartoon Animation by Preston Blair. Third-person action platformer hero animation graph by Rune Vendler, and then a web page address called, you know, for that third-person action animation graph. And then you got character animation DVD by William Reinisch. You know, you can Google these. Actually, I believe they still have them on the Blender website. Don't quote me on that, but I believe you can. Blender 2.5 Character Animation Cookbook, and I'm not going to even try to, you know, ruin that person's name. But if you look it up, it'll his first name and last name begin with a V. So hopefully that works for you. But that right there, y'all, ends Chapter 4. We have made it through animations in the Game Engine book. Now, believe it or not, this isn't the end of animation. You got to go out there and practice a little bit more each time. Play with it, and don't get mad if it doesn't work out exactly the way you want it. Just give it a good try and then refine it. You know, maybe you want him to have a limp. You know, maybe you want him to slouch when he walks. Maybe you want the character to, you know, jump when they walk. You know, it's up to you. It's up to the animator, the artist, to do it. Okay, I know guys who can do all kinds of stuff that I wish I could. Okay, I'm in the same boat as you when it comes to trying to learn stuff. So I know it's going to get downhearted at times to try to fight through a lot of aggravations because something's not doing right, the game's not working right correctly, the animations suck, the sound sucks, this sucks, and by the time you're said and done, the whole project needs to be scrapped, right? No. Take a step back. Take a day off. You know, don't grill at it like, you know, for 14 hours straight and throw yourself into a loop. Do it for about an hour. You know, work on your character and say, you know what, I'm going to go watch some Netflix, or hey, I'm going to play a game with my buddies, or hey, I'm just going to sit around and watch TV. You know, I may go outside. Who knows? You know, don't take too much time. Okay, and everybody says, oh, I dedicate, you know, I dedicate 5 hours a day. Why? Why do you do so much? You don't have to have too much time. Take an hour. Take 2 hours if you really want to be in depth. And sometimes you'll think you're going to do 2 hours and you wind up doing 5 hours because you're really into it. Other times you're just not feeling it. On those days, just do it for an hour. 30 minutes. Yeah. However you want to do it. Dedicate at least an hour a day, okay, to tinkering. And that's what I call tinkering, because you're not really working on it. You're just messing around with it to try to figure some stuff out. Play with some ideas. There's tons of videos out there. There's tons of files out there, that, you know, Blender files out there that are on the Blender website or on UPBGE, and shoot, on a lot of old YouTube channels. You know, you can play with those, tinker around with them, tear them apart, put them back together, do it again over and over and over until you figure it out. That's the whole idea. So with that being said, I am going to cut this one short today. It's only 10 minutes, but we're ending on page 69 of page 69. We finished off the animation. Next week we are going to go into, let me close that out real quick. We're going to go into chapter 5, and we're going to work on graphics. Yes, that's the next week. Okay, so stick with it. Kick over here real quick. Hang on. Where's my mouse at? Oh, I got to get over to the right one. Got to get over to the right screen here, folks. So let's hit that one. Nope, nope, not that one. That one. That one. There we go. So that will end episode number 7, and it ends the animation part of the book. Now you can go back and do it all over again. It's not going to hurt you to tinker around with it. Go through the book again. Go through it several times. Okay, don't let it distract you. Just keep going at it. You know, you're not going to make a you know, AAA game overnight. You're not going to even make an indie game overnight, guys. Come on, we're trying to, you know, be real. And I'm a hobbyist. I am not a game developer. I'm a hobbyist. And so hobbyists like to tinker around a little bit. And, you know, I made 2 little games. It took me 2 weeks, okay, to do the first one. The second one, not so much, because all I did was just add some more zombies. You know, hey, who needs zombies, right? So the whole idea on the next one is going to be how to do graphics, okay, in the Blender game engine, also considered a BGE. Both of them are kind of synonymous right now, but you know, if you really want to do the old school BGE, you want to do 2.79B. If you're going to do a BGE, you at least want 0.2.0 or 0.2.5. Okay, those are the 2 that you want for the old school Blender style. Okay, so till next week.